Simon, it's been a fair few days now since the narrow defeat at Sheffield on Friday night, where we screamed into an 18-0 lead and then just sort of ran out of steam towards the back end of the game. When you've looked back and done your review, are you pleased with the way the team performed despite the result?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure we ran out of steam, Faz. I think we just got ourselves under unnecessary pressure. And fair play to Sheffield, they dug in there after we dominated the start of the game. But without bleating on and repeating what I said after the game, I think very similar to some losses we've had this year, where a very tight game, not many points in it, and there's some things we can control. I think directly have 3 errors, they score 3 tries, and the pretty average ones, an intercept on play, one off a scrum, pretty poor. We pull them ones in, and the game's obviously different, and we come away smiling, don't we? But it is what it is. We played well. I think it was best we've played as a collective, and defended really well, apart from again a few isolated incidents there. But wasn't perfect. But for 30 minutes, I'd say it's as good as we've played in a long while. Yeah,
you mentioned those isolated incidents. There was 2 sin binnings about maybe 6-7 minutes from the end of the game that they seemed to score straight after that. What was your view of that incident, and do you think that directly affected the gap that was left that Brandon Douglas then went and scored under the sticks to effectively put the Eagles ahead for the first time?
No, in some ways, because once you go down to 12, it takes you a couple of minutes to adjust to what your numbers look like, and maybe we weren't quick enough to think around that bit. But no, the sin binning, I didn't see it at the time, but it just 2 props, a bit frustrated, coming head to head towards end of game. It was nothing, to be quite honest. Sin binning, I'm not sure. I think the heads touched when they were having a bit of a chat. The heads touched, so that was the yellow card bit. But it was something and nothing really.
Any injuries to report from that game at Sheffield?
Yeah, plenty of bits and bobs. Nothing massive, but tough all game on a hard surface. Yeah, a few rattled bodies, but we've got a big one this weekend, so everyone's looking forward to that one, and we'll do our checks tonight. Obviously Thursday being our main night for training, we'll see who can get through, and we'll work our team out tonight.
Yeah, we'll move on to Sunday then. It's the top of the league leaders, Featherstone Rovers, coming to the Shay. They've had a lot of success over the years at the Shay, but how important is this game? Obviously been in the week before the cup final for the boys to put the best foot forward and to put their name in the hat for a selection.
Yeah, I mean, final. If you look at it from that point of view, we can only pick 17 for Wembley, can't we? So that if this is your last chance before the game to stake a claim, that's it. But that aside, because that's next week, we'll worry about this one. Fev's always a tough game. They're a good team out there, a big physical team, and they've got some real quality on their edges, and they got 19 from 20 games this year so far, something like that. Doing really well, consistent, and we're going to have to be really good to get anything out of the game, aren't we? But we need the 2 points. I don't think there's any pressure on us in that sense, because Fev are standouts for the championship so far this season. But we've beaten once, that gives us a little bit of joy in terms of looking back on some positive experiences against them. And we need 2 points, don't we? And we'll need to pick up plenty more before the end. There's no reason why it shouldn't start this week, and I do believe that if we play like we did for the first 30 for a bit longer, pull out some catastrophic errors and gifts, if you like, in amongst it, I think we can do a really good job against Featherstone.
Although Fev might have a good record at the Shay, so do the Panthers, and it's been, our home form's been pretty good so far this year. So what are you hoping to see from your side to ensure that we do get that much needed 2 points on Sunday night?
I think for anyone that watched the Sheffield game, even then when it wasn't going great, I thought you saw a proper togetherness and mateship, and turned up for each other. A few were putting people in touch, Pickers, Woody scrambling across the back, saving half breaks and such. Just all that endeavour stuff really, and turning up for each other. We'll see a tough team performance, and if we can get it right and play at the right end of the field for long enough, I do think we've definitely got points in us. I think the job is limiting Featherstone and the damage they can do, but we've got a few plans and points we think we can work on to minimise, if you like, their threats. But that's quite a big job against these. They're good from 1 to 17. So it's a tough ask, but there's no reason why we can't do it. I don't think there's only we've beat them this year earlier on, but there's other teams who've really been in the game with them and took them to the end of it, and that's what we need to do.
You mentioned you didn't want to look too far ahead to the cup final, but it is the final home game, the final fixture before we do go down to Wembley. So how important is it that the fans get behind the team and give them a big send-off and get behind them and sing the Wembley songs and everything and celebrate what is a great occasion?
Just keep supporting, I think that's the thing. And and again, I feel like I repeat myself every time I ask this question. They've been great this year. They've turned up home and away. They've been really good, and particularly when we haven't, they've been frustrating games, frustrating losses. 2 points, 6 points, 4 points. Them sort of losses are really frustrating and hard to take for all of us. But yeah, it's really important they keep showing up for us. It doesn't always go your way, and that's why supporters are good, aren't they? Because thick and thin, they keep turning out, and we really do appreciate that. And yeah, hopefully give a good performance this week, which obviously lends well. I thought Sheffield was good in spite of the loss. Another good performance bodes well moving into that Wembley week, and hopefully we can give them a day there they can enjoy. But obviously we'll be focusing on this one first.